What is up, Raiders? Welcome back to another episode of The Jump Cut. My name is AJ White.
I'm Sneer.
And I'm Aiden Linder.
And today we are going to talk about pop culture in baseball, football. We're going to talk about school life with college applications with seniors, the new awning outside in the patio, SAT prep, fall homecoming, and fall break. So hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so I think we start out with a fun game. All right, so first question. Okay. Aiden, would you rather fly very fast or be invisible?
I'll go with fly.
Sneer?
I'd probably pick fly too.
Yeah, honestly, like flying would be good, but I feel like being invisible is like, I don't know. I feel like you could do a lot of things when you're invisible, like sneak into concerts or like sneak into the movie theater or like.
Well, you could do the same thing as flying. You could just fly in and
fly
but like,
out.
And then it also saves you a bunch of money, like
that's true, like plane tickets.
Plane,
by the way, plane
cars.
tickets are really expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, honestly, I would say fly, but like being invisible would be cool.
It would be, but like flying, you could also like carry people with you too. Kind of.
I don't know. I feel like we're not Superman. We're just flying.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's literally just yourself, but you're flying.
I mean, imagine like just carrying someone.
I mean, if you could physically like carry someone, you're strong enough, then sure.
Yeah.
But most people, I don't think, can like carry a whole like person like that, like flying.
Yeah. Well, that was the first game. We're gonna play another game later. All right. So starting off with pop culture. Now we're all very big sports fans. They're more into soccer. I'm more into baseball and football. So let's start out with football. All right, Aiden, who do you think is on the come up with the most talent in the NFL right now?
I think the Chargers. They look good. They play the Chiefs. They look good. Sure, Travis Kelce took out his own teammates, so maybe he was playing for the Chargers too. But, yeah, I think they look good. I mean, maybe it was just week one's always different. Week one's a little iffy with, like, teams coming out slow, travel, first game of the season, especially the Chargers and Chiefs game. They were playing in a different country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought they looked really good, and I feel like they're one to look out for. Also, the Colts, like, why the Colts, like, 2-0?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they probably should have lost against the Broncos, and they got bailed out by that flag. But, yeah, I was not expecting the Colts to start 2-0. So.
Yeah, I think for me, definitely somebody that's on the lookout is the Broncos. The Broncos have definitely been one of the heavy favorites in the preseason and in week one. I think Bo Nix has a lot to prove. I think their defense is, impenetrable. I think if they keep up what they've been doing and go with their game plan, I think they can make a run in the playoffs. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see, but I mean, you can't really beat the Eagles. The Eagles have been dominating for the past 2-3 years, and I don't see them stopping anytime soon. So, what about you, Senior? You watch any football?
No, I'm not a big football fan, but I know you're not a big soccer fan.
I don't know anything about soccer. I do have a soccer question for Aiden, because I know he watches football. In the soccer world, there's La Liga and Premier League, correct?
There's more than that, yes, but those are two leagues.
Okay. In those two leagues, what is a comparable football player? Like, let's say the GOAT of soccer is Messi, right?
Okay.
Who do you think is comparable in the NFL to a figure and a GOAT, technically speaking, to Messi? Who is somebody that shows that same kind of, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but like somebody you can say, Messi's the GOAT of soccer. Who's the GOAT of football?
Okay. Well,
So like compared in like skills.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm trying to think like. I mean, right now there's a guy named Lamine Yamal, plays for Barcelona. He's 19, 18, 19, something like that.
He's a rising star, yeah.
He's like incredible. He's like better than Messi was when Messi was his
What
age.
about like
So
NFL?
like I'm
NFL?
trying to think of like who a NFL comparison that would be? Because I feel like he's so young, but not in the NFL. There's not even players like him. He kind of, I guess, if you go to college football, he would kind of be like the wide receiver for Ohio State. What's that guy's name?
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith. Like Jeremiah Smith was a freshman last year, and he was
Yeah.
incredible. Like no one, like a true freshman.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is that kid Ryan Williams from Alabama.
Yeah, him
The dude
too.
was a true freshman at 17 years old and was a superstar for Alabama. That's insane.
I would say that's like a good example to like Yamal is like how young they both are and how
Yeah.
good they
Do you
both
think
are.
Lamine Yamal will be better than Messi?
I mean, yes and no. I think yes in regards to like maybe like trophies won,
Yeah.
but I think no because he's not going to get up there in stats because there's so much like analytics now and so much like resting and rotating of teams that like Messi was scoring like 50 goals a season. Like I don't think Yamal's
Yeah.
ever going to get close to that.
Yeah, I think
So-
I think he's gonna like get more accomplishments than him and win more stuff because of like his national team, Spain, are just way better than what Argentina was, in my opinion. There's a lot of rising stars there too. Their whole team is really young, and I think they have a lot of potential.
I will agree with what Aiden said. See, I don't know a lot about soccer, but I do know who Lionel Messi is. And I know how big soccer is worldwide. The thing with football and baseball and all the, United States sports, like strictly United States sports, is they're going against teams that are from different states of the United States. So it's kind of localized and it's kind of limited to just the United States. But with soccer, you have, especially during the World Cup, you have different countries from all around the
Yeah,
world playing.
yeah.
You have the best of the best from each country. And I think what Messi has done in the game of soccer is unmatched. Like even winning a World Cup might be, I won't say it's the hardest thing to do in sports, but I will say it is probably the most difficult trophy to win in the world just because of the amount of talent that the game of soccer has, with it being worldwide and with it being like hundreds of countries, competing to get a spot at the World Cup. And then the best of the best go to the World Cup, and then the best of the best in the World Cup win the whole thing. So it's kind of like this whole thing was like, if you're not the best of the best, then it's gonna be really hard. And I think what Messi did in 2022 in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think what he did and what Argentina did was nothing but spectacular. Like, I mean, you can't beat that performance. And by the way, I haven't watched a lot of World Cups, but I've heard people say that the 2022 World Cup final was one of the greatest finals in history. I mean, you have Argentina who went up 2-0 in the majority of the game, and then you had Kylian Mbappe who scored a hat trick to tie the game or tie the match, and then they had to go into penalties. And I don't really watch soccer a lot, but I will say that was pretty, that was a nail biter. I was definitely on the edge of my seat watching that game. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll add two things to that. One is that I think the World Cup is the hardest thing in the world in sports. One,
yeah.
because, like you said, with how like competitive it is, but also it's only every 4 years.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if you're like Messi's been playing since like the early 2000s, and he's only played in I think 5 World Cups.
That's a good point.
So
You could
he's
be-
only had
Yeah,
5 chances
yeah.
to win it. Like an average player is probably only getting 2 or 3 because maybe one time your country didn't even make it. If you're on like the U.S. for example, the
Yeah.
U.S. has only missed the World Cup in 2018. They qualified in 2022. This one coming up in 2026, they're only really qualifying for it because they're hosting it, so they automatically get in.
Yeah.
And then, with you saying with the greatest World Cup final ever, I mean, it probably is, but also it's a very notorious thing for finals to be very boring, or not boring, but in a neutral standpoint, maybe who doesn't watch soccer, someone would probably think it's boring because there's not much scoring going on because no one wants to be the
Yeah,
guy that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
that mistake.
Well,
And
there's
then-
not really any high scoring soccer games. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I mean,
the
here and
average
there.
the average game is like 1-1. That's
Yeah.
like the average. But most of these finals are usually 1-0 because no one wants to make a mistake. And then once that one team scores, it's so demoralizing, and then the other team has so much momentum that it's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also
So-
like you have to. They're always looking for for mistakes, the other team to take advantage of that and score easily.
Yeah, and going back to what Aiden said about having, a limited amount of chances, but also playing for a while. If you get 5 chances in the World Cup, that's 20 years. That's older than I am. That's more than my whole life. I mean, I still stand my point about being, making it to the World Cup and even winning the World Cup is probably one of the hardest things to do in sports, honestly. But
Oh, one more thing. What do you guys think of? Okay, me personally, I think that soccer players would be better kickers than football kickers.
Well, honestly,
if they tried to kick the football,
like even for Alpharetta, like I know some kickers play soccer. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I feel like that would make sense.
Oh,
yeah.
a lot of the kickers, like the kicker for the Cowboys, he got drafted in the MLS draft,
Yeah.
and then he didn't make it, and then he ended up becoming a kicker. But I think the main difference is that a lot of these guys 100% could do it. But I think there's 2 things. One is that you're wearing pads while doing it, and you're also kicking a completely different ball. Like a soccer ball is completely round, so no matter where you kick it, if you hit it dead on, it's gonna move. If it's still, it's gonna move the same spot every time. But with a football, if you hit it slightly different in the center from a different spot in the center, then it's gonna move differently.
That's not true. A soccer ball, you can hit it at the heart. You can hit it at the bottom.
No, I'm saying if you hit it directly in the middle of the ball, if it was still every time, it's gonna go the same spot.
Like especially kicking a PAT, I know you can't really hit the heart of the football because it won't go anywhere. Like with a PAT, you
hit the bottom of
you
it.
basically have to hit the bottom of the ball to get it up and to get the backspin on it to make it through the goalpost. Like with soccer, I mean, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. There's different ways to kick a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's what he was saying. But I just think also is that a lot of these guys wearing pads, they'll just be different, like feeling of like kicking a ball, but also having to have, like, to not even see the ball and then it just shows up and then you're kicking it is a very different thing from the ball being in front of you, having touches with it and then shooting it,
Yeah.
and also having people jumping at you trying to block the ball. I think that would be like the main thing. That would
Yeah.
be
So
different.
one more question, and then we'll go to school life. What do you think is the hardest thing to do in sports? Like whether it's scoring a hat trick in soccer, being a quarterback in football, because that's hard by itself. Hitting a baseball, boxing. Like, what do you think is the hardest thing to do in sports?
I think it's definitely making it to the NBA because not only you have to have like a great skill set, but you also you need to be skilled genetics wise.
Yeah.
Like you need to be like super tall. So
I'm gonna disagree with you on that because I feel like there's so many players out there who have made the NBA purely because they're just like so tall.
Yeah.
And some teams just like, I'll take a chance on this guy. Maybe we can make him into a good player, and then they usually don't pan out. Like a Taco Fall or someone like that. I think it's to hit a pitch in baseball. I think that's the hardest.
I'm
thing
kind
to
of
do.
biased on this because I'm a baseball player, but I think there's 2 things that are very difficult to do in the sport of baseball. One is to make it to the major league, because when you get drafted to the MLB, you start out in low A, then you go to single A, then you go to double A, then you go to triple A. Some players will spend their whole career in the minor leagues and not even make it to the major leagues. And that's very normal for a lot of baseball players, is to spend 10, 12 years in the minor leagues and never get a chance, or when they get a chance to go to the major league, they're, already out of their prime, or they're in their low 30s and it's like close for them to retire. So I think one of the hardest things to do in sport is definitely to hit a baseball, but I think it's also making it to the highest spot in your sport, I would say, is baseball, because there are many levels below the major league that you have to get through. Like you have to get through low A, you have to get through single A, double A, triple A. I think it's very hard, but
I mean, it's the same thing for soccer. There's there's SCCL, NPL,
That's
ECNL.
local. That's different.
Yeah, but then it depends.
Well, that's a different conversation because
well, going back to the original conversation, I would have to agree with Aiden. Obviously, I'm biased towards baseball, but I will have to agree with Aiden with hitting a baseball is probably one of the hardest things. It is the hardest thing to do in sports, mainly because you're trying to hit a bit. You're trying to hit a 6 ounce, 3-inch, 4-inch ball
So
with
when-
a
when-
2 and 3/4 inch barrel. Like, and that ball is moving at 95 plus, which most pitchers are throwing in the major leagues right now. And I think it also goes back to the fact that Hall of Famers are considered Hall of Famers even if they succeed 3 out of 10 times they step up to the plate. Like, you can be a Hall of Famer if you succeed 3 out of 10 times at the plate. If you're failing 7 out of 10 times, you're still considered a Hall
Yeah,
of
I
Famer.
mean, isn't there only like a couple guys right now that are even batting over 300?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to bat over 300, especially in this day and age with baseball, where you have a starter, a guy who starts the game pitching, throwing mid to upper 90s, and then you have a closer lefty that's throwing 101, 102, like a guy like Chapman, who basically none of his pitches are staying still. They're all moving, whether it's cutting, whether it's sinking, whether it's throwing a slider, curveball, splitter. I mean, I think it's probably one of the hardest things to do in sports, if not the hardest thing to do.
Also, but you said the hardest thing is to hit a baseball, right? So wouldn't the hardest thing be hitting a home run?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think, because hitting a home run is hard in itself, but a lot of the time, if you have a guy throwing 95 plus, all you really need to do is put a barrel on it and it'll go, because the pitcher is supplying most of the power. Like with the MLB, you don't really see a lot of guys swinging very hard, because they know if they square up 90, 97, 98 and they get the right angle on it, it's going to go. Just the sheer power that the players have. But home runs are probably, you don't see a lot of them. I mean, you look at a guy like Cal Raleigh right now, and Kyle Schwarber, that are 50 plus home runs on the year. Those are the best of the best. Like, especially this year, those are the best of the best hitters. It's hard to hit a home run. So we're gonna go into school life for the next couple of minutes and talk about what it's like as a high school student going to college. Getting your applications in for college. SAT prep. Homecoming, fall break, stuff like that. So I want to start off with SAT prep, because obviously with a lot of these colleges, their biggest thing is your test scores. I mean, with high schools, you got the SAT, you got the ACT, GPA, test score. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But Aiden, Sneer, I would like to ask, how do you guys prepare for the SAT or the ACT?
Well, so I'm a sophomore, so I haven't really started to prep for it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a little too early, but here and there I am towards more the end of the year, second semester I'm gonna start.
I would definitely say that taking the SAT early might not be the best decision, because a lot of the time, if you're taking on-level classes, the type of curriculum in those classes are what you'll see on the SAT when you're a junior or a senior. Like for me, there was a lot of Algebra 2 on the SAT, and I didn't learn that until my junior year. And I told my parents, I was like, I don't really want to take the SAT until I take Algebra 2, because I know that a lot of the stuff I'm going to learn in Algebra 2 is going to be on the SAT. So there's no point in trying to take a test that has stuff that I don't even know how to solve.
Well, I'm taking Algebra 2 right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, I would say you could definitely study for the English stuff now, because that's a lot of it's just reading comprehension.
A lot of reading
and
comprehension,
grammar and stuff like that. So you can definitely prep for that now.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot of schools, though, still, even for colleges, I mean, when you are in your senior year, I don't think it's going to be like this. I think all schools are going to go back to requiring you to submit your scores. But right now, for us two, me and AJ,
they're still going up. They're still coming off of COVID. So a lot of them during COVID were test optional, because it was really hard to take your SAT during COVID because schools were shut down. So they didn't require the SAT, but a lot of them kind of stuck with it and kind of didn't require anybody to take the SAT, because they know people are different. One person could be a really good test taker and have a pretty low GPA or an average GPA, and one could be a really bad or not really, great at test taking, but have a 4.0, 3.8 or something like that. So I like the idea of being a test optional, but I do see where colleges use the SAT and the ACT, because it's basically how well can you understand the question? How well can you solve the question, even if you don't know how to solve it?
Yeah, I mean, I also think with schools being test optional, especially if your scores aren't great, then you don't have to submit them, which also it might make your application look better. But also then like to submit a score, it's like $20-$25 for every score. So
Yeah.
if you're going to like 7-8 colleges that you're applying to, that's that's like $100-$150 you're saving just by not submitting your scores. I mean, obviously if you got like a 33 in the ACT, of course you're going to submit your score.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's
I think it's helpful that some schools don't require it and some do, but then it's also like a strategy. It's like, do I submit it? Do I not submit it? It's kind of like on the border. So, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I played baseball, so it was easier to find a school where I wanted to go and where I could major in what I wanted to major in. So I'm signing with the school in November, and when I did the application to actually get into school, they put me down as test optional because my GPA was high enough to get into the school. But obviously, if my GPA was lower, I'd want to submit my SAT score because that would help me get more scholarship money or, whatever it could help with. So definitely, I would say prepping for the ACT and SAT. I went to a tutor. I found it very helpful, especially if you struggle with reading or math. You could go for either one, but I find it very helpful. So before we sign off, because our time's running out, we are going to talk about homecoming, because that is this Saturday. Have y'all seen the theme for homecoming?
No, I have not.
It's like masquerade or something. So
Oh, yeah,
it's like you
all
like
over
wear
the
a
school,
mask.
yeah.
It's like they have decorations all through the hallways of like the masquerade.
So
Okay.
like back then, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
That's where they met, and
At a masquerade party.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like it was like.
But, like, how many
old,
people are actually going to
rich-
do that?
Yeah, so like the thing with homecoming now, like now in this age, like nobody really goes to the actual dance. It's kind of like
yeah, they just like go hang out, take.
yeah,
pictures,
it's kind of
go to
like it's
dinner,
kind of
yeah.
like you get dressed up, you go take pictures, you go take dinner, you go eat dinner, and then you hang out as a group after you eat dinner. Like nobody really. Obviously, I went to the dance my freshman year for
Yeah,
like
it's mostly
10,
freshmen,
15
yeah.
minutes. I mean, I enjoyed it. Like the teachers and the faculty put a lot of time into decorating the gym. I enjoyed it, but like when I got older, like junior, senior year, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the actual dance or not, just because it's not something I really enjoy anymore. I kind of just like go take pictures, go eat dinner, and then hang out with my friends after. But I know like a lot of underclassmen like going to the dance because it's a first time thing. You don't really go to a homecoming until you're in high school, so you definitely want to experience the dance part of homecoming.
Yeah, it's definitely more a freshman thing.
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my freshman year, I wasn't even planning on going, and I ended up going last second. And then sophomore year, I remember going to like dinner, and the dinner being like 10 times more fun than
Yeah.
actually like going to the thing. But I mean, I didn't even go last year. I'm not going this year, but I don't even know if I'm probably not even gonna take pictures this year. I think I'm just gonna work because I'm like at this point, it's like
Yeah.
I'd rather make money
Yeah.
than like spend money to go to something for like 30 minutes.
I get
So,
that. I mean, I definitely think people, to each their own. I know some people don't really like the idea of homecoming. They'd rather just, do stuff by themselves, hang out with their friends, other than homecoming. But I know some people, like me especially, like I like, getting dressed up, going to dinner and hanging out with my friends just because it's like it's something you do in high school. Like you want to live the high school life. Obviously, you get your grades done, get your money up, obviously, get that check. But also, it's you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy high school. So that's why I think people like it.
Yeah, I remember last year we went to like dinner, and then we went to like main event or something like that, and then we like went to like Avalon, just like walked around.
All right, well, that was this episode's of The Jump Cut. I hope you enjoy. You can listen on all platforms, YouTube, Apple Podcast. So my name's AJ White,
I'm Aiden Linder.
And I'm sneering.
and that was a Jump Cut podcast. I hope you enjoyed.